Do you think Jesus would have voted for Trump?
Do I think Jesus,
All right, let's see it.
first of all, Jesus intentionally didn't vote and did not care about the Roman guard. You remember he said, pay unto Caesar what is Caesar, render unto God's what is God.
So the render unto Caesar discourse doesn't have anything to do with demonstrating Jesus didn't care about the Roman government. But to insist that Jesus intentionally didn't vote would require that some process comparable to voting was available to Jesus in 1st century CE Galilee or Judea, and no such process was available to Jesus. So the notion he intentionally didn't vote is laughable on its very face.
Do I think Jesus would love some of the stuff that Trump is doing?
It's a silly question, but I'm just,
No, I mean, fine. It's like, what did Jesus teach us? Jesus says, don't touch children. Okay, so he would love the fact that Donald Trump repealed Roe versus Wade. He would love the fact that child sex trafficking is being focused on in this current government.
So neither of those things is true, because Trump's approach to abortion and to child sex trafficking are not part of any kind of sincere attempt to actually efficiently or effectively mitigate the rate of either. They are tokens, they are propaganda in order to try to win the culture wars, because Trump's policies actually don't really significantly improve either. When it comes to abortion, if MAGA were concerned with reducing the rate at which women seek out abortions, they would significantly increase access to comprehensive sex education, to contraception, to women's health care. That would more efficiently and effectively reduce the rate of abortion in our nation far more than just criminalizing it. But criminalizing it scratches the right-wing authoritarian itch. So that's what they're doing. And similar things are true of their approach to child sex trafficking. A lot of this is making token attempts to try to improve things, and some of the policies have actually improved things, but others have made things worse. For instance, a lot of people would argue that the sex trafficking propaganda is really a pretext for cracking down on immigration. And a lot of advocacy groups have pointed out that Trump's approach to addressing child sex trafficking actually makes things worse, because, for instance, a lot of victims who are not citizens, or even some who are, will not cooperate because they're scared of a government they know might attack them next, might deport them, might separate them from their family, might send them out of the country, might send them to a gulag somewhere where nobody knows where they are. Because Trump's approach to immigration is taking priority over any actual concern for mitigating child sex trafficking. So MAGA's approach to abortion and child sex trafficking are really about identity markers in the culture wars. They're not actually prioritizing mitigating the rate of either. They're prioritizing the leveraging of that identity marker to serve the interests of their right-wing authoritarian and social dominance orientation identity politics. And the Jesus of the Gospels would see right through that, just like anyone with the capacity for critical thought today can see right through that propaganda. So no, Jesus would not love that. Jesus would actually be quite opposed to Trump's Machiavellian approach to using immigration as a rhetorical bludgeon, as a wedge in order to try to increase their access to power and resources.
Jesus Christ said a lot of things such as, sin no more, and things such as love your neighbor are things that we should embody in every single one of our public policy decisions.
Which is what makes it so absolutely laughable to actually suggest that Jesus would vote for an unrepentant rapist and serial sexual predator and all-around mendacious and avaricious moron who will gladly demonize and brutalize and deport neighbors, including children, if that helps him grab onto a little bit more power. Jesus directly excoriates multiple times across the Gospels people who try to leverage public displays of piety and faithfulness in an effort to be seen of others, in an effort to gain their reward in this life. In other words, in an effort to advance their own personal interests. And that's precisely what Donald Trump and MAGA are doing. And again, The Jesus of the Gospels would be able to see right through that, just like people today with a capacity for critical thought can see right through that. So no, if we took Jesus from the early 1st century CE and transferred him to today and taught him a language that would allow him to understand what's going on in the United States, and taught him world history up till now, and taught him U.S. history, and taught him about the structures of power that are in play today, there's no way the Jesus of the Gospels would ever even think about voting for someone like Donald Trump. And the fit for this video has been for everyone who is not into the whole brevity thing.